The Diller's Wake by John Clifford. Weel knowed through it the countryside was the kettle diller, Rob McBride. His wit, his genial temperament, aye won him friends where'er he went. At every market, show or fair, big Rob the diller would be there, aye ready with his friendly palm to grip a neighbour by the hand. He was a man of many perks, indulged in all the sports and arts. He focht game cocks on Kappa Hall and run his own wee private stall. On cursing days he proved his worth, his greyhound's pride o' the north. Bred of McGrath o' Lorgan town, had won him fame, reward and renown. At ploughing matches Rob was there, to guide his wheel-graith chestnut pair, obedient to his skilful hand, the best turnout in all the land. And even in the realm's art, Rob seldom failed to play his part. Recited poems, short or long, could sing a good old Ulster song. And often folk would stand entranced as on the flute his fingers danced. The merry notes, sweet, loud and clear, would gie enchantment to the ear. And whiles the droning pipes would skirl to mak the happy dancers birl, and tempt the merry toe and heel in some hilarious jig or reel. At every schoolis, barn or hall, at wakes and waddens, church or balls, you'd find the diller at his best, with subtle wit and hearty jest. Like some eternal leaving fire, he never seemed to drop or tire. What else he had he'd never tell, he kept his sorrows to himself. Imagine then with what dismay the neighbours learnt yon woeful day that Rob had crossed the golden shore. Alas, they'd never see him more. Around the country far and near dropped many a painful silent tear. The blow was hard, 'twas plainly seen, they lost a faithful trusting friend. But through the gloom Rob's widow spake, she will howl the biggest wake was ever held in this toon land, and must fulfil Rob's last command. For he'd ordained that when he died, the folk should come frae far and wide, to eat and drink and merry be, indulge in games and jollity. To thus ensure the wake's success, Rob had provided more or less, that every man and woman there could eat and drink with something to spare. Big tins of snuff he stored away, and pipes of the finest Kerry clay, tobacco, broom, plug, flake and twist, as black as your boot and as thick as your wrist. The drink had been his special care, his guiding motto, drink to spare. Sweet mountain dew for Alex Hill, a burnfa for his own wee still. The neighbours flocked frae far and wide to cheer the widow man McBride. They come by kirk, by car, by brake and scores to rob the Diller's Wake. At first with due regard and grace the studden groups about the place discoursed in tones subdued and brief, and made new friendships through their grief. But soon the spacious kitchen floor was packed with neighbours to the door, and there amidst the multitude a coffin on the table stood, and in it there, at his request, lay Rob, clad in his Sunday best, and beside him for immediate use a barrel for the devil's juice. So round the table glass in hand, each drouthy neighbour took his stand, both male and female, young and old, they drunk to Rob's departed soul. The wake was soon well on its way, and unbridled tongues began to play. The neighbours still kept pouring in to add confusion to the din. But by and by they settled down, and the cups of tea were handed round, and all agreed, with praises due, the widow made a splendid brew. And as they stood around and joked, and supped their tea and snuffed and smoked, a cunning hand had been at play, and dropped some jalap in the tea. Then very soon some half a score, in anxious haste made for the door, but soon discovered to their cost that he who hesitates is lost. Soon every man and woman there was wandering through the midnight air, except the sturdy, stern and tough, whose guts were made of wickeder stuff. But by and by, in twos and threes, with guilty looks and wobbly knees, they studded back and tried to hide the things they'd seen and done outside. The grunts and the groans were a fine excuse, so once again the devil's juice was laid out room with a liberal hand, a reaming glass to every man. The women, no to be outdone, held out their glasses just for fun. They sniffed and they sipped, but in the end, they were drinking it quicker than the men. They drunk, they danced, they hooked and they raved, and the more they drunk, the more they craved. And when the fun was at its height, out went the flickering kitchen light. The Bible says men love the dark, for it hides full money and evil lark. And ere the light had been restored, alas, Rab's body was no more. Some 2 or 3 with a devilish trick had shifted Rab, and mighty quick. They dumped his carcass beneath the stairs, amongst helpless drunken craters there. Drunk as they were, they seized their chance, and coaxed Rab to join them in a dance. And the oxter cogged him through the door, and they stood him on the kitchen floor. For just a minute silence reigned, the blood fae every face was drained. And then with a frickin' curdling yell, the place became a seething hell. And the air was rent with women's screams, and the lamp was smashed to smithereens. And the coffin toppled on the floor, and soon was trampled into the stour. The women tried to gain the door, but strong men flung them to the floor. Beneath the table some had dived, Lord knows who anyone survived. They hurled the cream cracks off the shelf, and they smashed the widow's precious delf. And the clock come crashing to the floor, and it struck 18 or maybe more. They wrenched the door fae off its frame, and they smashed every single window pane. And mad wi' fear they took to their heels through hedges, dakes and shocks and fields. When all that noise and dust had cleared, the drunks wi' Rab again appeared. And they dragged him stiffly up the stairs, and they bedded him with special care. And Rab lay motionless and white, and they raised their caps and they said good night. And they promised him that come what may, they'd meet him again next market day.